It's Eagles. It's Jaguars. It's Kelly Green week. Trending in the AM. We're going to break down all things this week's matchup. And we're going to celebrate 3 years of trending in the AM. We're live in 30 seconds.
Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 woo!
And a very good morning, everybody, and welcome to Trending in the AM right here on the STT Sports Network. We are live, YouTube and Twitter. You know the drill. Wherever you're watching, whichever platform you're watching on, please do me that favor. Hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. Turn the notifications on. And, hey, if you want to do me another favor, hit the share button as well. If you're watching on Twitter, which I know there was problems with Twitter yesterday. It looks like Twitter's working fine today. Make sure you hit that repost button. If you want to comment on the Twitter page, you got to click the video, open the video, and comment in the box there. Just comment under the tweet. I will not see your post. But, guys, please, if you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Please hit that like button. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you doing that. I'm Phil Stiefel. You can find me at Bearded Knowledge on social media. Greatly appreciate a follow. And today marks the debut of Season 4 of Trending the AM. 3 years ago today, November 1st, 2021, was the debut episode of Trending in the AM. There have been a lot of places that I've shown this show. There's been lots of growth, highs, lows of doing this, beefs, non-beefs. Lots of things have happened. Co-hosts, part-time co-hosts. So much has happened. Great guests along the way. I was way too busy yesterday to put together. I wanted to put together a compilation and a list of the great guests we had here over the past, but haven't gotten to that for today. Maybe we'll save that for next year when we start season 5. But guys, we are talking Eagles. We are talking Jaguars. How will the Eagles win this game on Sunday? I don't think it's a how. I think it's a matter of, I don't think it's a matter of will the Eagles win on Sunday. It's just a matter of how. So we are going to talk about that. We're going to go over the entire Sunday NFL slate of games as well. And who knows what else will come up this morning. Good morning, Duck. Glad to see you bright and early this morning in the chat. Hope everyone had a fantastic Halloween. I am still mentally and physically tapped out from Halloween. One of the busiest days in the pizza business. I'm just getting too old for this. But I'm here to focus in on Eagles and on the Jaguars. And I think it's a pretty easy conversation to have when breaking this game down. We've had a lot of ups and downs and highs and lows when we've discussed our Eagles this year. But I think there's a clear distinction between the Eagles and the Jaguars, the talent on the Eagles and the Jaguars, literally the entire package. When it comes to Eagles and Jaguars, the Eagles are a team trending upwards. The Eagles are a team with playoff aspirations. Not just aspirations, expectations. The Jaguars are a team trending down. The Jaguars are a team that are fighting to see if they're going to keep their head coach even past this week. There's two totally different trajectories of the Eagles and of the Jaguars right now. The Eagles and Jaguars both had young quarterbacks a few years ago. One continues to trend upwards in Jalen Hurts with some bumps along the road. Trevor Lawrence, who's facing criticism, and Trevor Lawrence, who has not lived up to the hype, has trended down and not rebounded at all. Now, some of that might be on Doug Pederson. Some of it might be on him. Some of it might be on a lot of different things. But the trajectory of these two franchises, of these quarterbacks, are in completely different stratospheres right now. And I don't think there can be an argument, and I know some people will say that that's a trap game when everything is pointing this way. I just don't see or foresee a way that the Eagles would lose this game on Sunday. So, keys to victory, they're not losing, so who cares? Show's over. Just kidding. When you just look at the rosters, when you just look at the rankings, well, yes, it is also on top of the fact that they're just not going to lose this week because of the teams. It is also Kelly Green week. And you guys know I'm not a fan of the Kelly Green colors. I do have it on the screen. I tried to find my Kelly Green Jalen Hurts jersey for you guys today, but did not have time for that either. On top of all the things I just said, they're not going to lose. They won both Kelly Green games last year. The Bills and the Dolphins, I think, were the games they wore Kelly Green last year. Kelly Green seems to bring a certain vibe to the fans, certain vibe to the players. And there's just no way the Eagles would do it. I almost think that my Kelly Green hate isn't as big as I think it is. It's just the fact that me saying Kelly Green sucks annoys so many people that I've just built upon it. I keep pushing it just because, hey, it's all about clickbait, right? On social media. All I got to do is criticize a smidge of Kelly Green, and boom, impressions through the roof with everyone telling me I'm an idiot. And I you know what? I can play the game. Can you play the game? Or, I'm trying to remember with the Triple H. Time to play the game. I can play the game. And Kelly Green sucks is a way to play the game. And it's kind of funny how easy it is that people are triggered over Kelly Green. So let's think about the Eagles this week. Let's think about what we've seen, not just this past week, but the last couple weeks on this winning streak, and how can the Eagles build upon it? If the Eagles are just so obviously going to win the green game, what can they use this game to continue to build upon? And I think that's the thing. Like, I don't need this to be a 27-24 close, hard-fought game. The Eagles are clearly the better team. They need to go out there and do what they did last week and dominate the Bengals even more so this week against the Jacksonville Jaguars, because they need to make a statement this week that we can beat most teams, but when a lesser team comes in here, we're going to stomp that mud hole in them. They need to make that statement. Kelly Green is overrated. It doesn't suck as much as I say it does, but it is definitely massively overrated, Peanut. It just is. It represents a bygone era of losing in Philadelphia Eagles history. It just does. We never won anything under Buddy Ryan and the Kelly Green era. Everyone thinks back to that Buddy Ryan, Randall Cunningham, Reggie White era. Everyone has such fond memories. I don't have fond memories. I have memories of the Fog Bowl. I have memories of Bryce Pop. I have memories of losing year in and year out in the Kelly Green era. So I don't understand why people love it so much. They love the nostalgia, but the nostalgia isn't there because they lost. Always in it. I like Kelly Green. It's my first uni too, Duck, for the Eagles. But why? They lost. We complain about losing in the city all the time. So let's not act like they won a lot in the Kelly Green. Aesthetically superior? I don't know if that's necessarily accurate. I like the darker colors in general in life. So good morning, Brian. How you doing? The Eagles should win with some ease. And that's something that I want to talk about. Do the Eagles need to win with ease this week to continue to build the fans' confidence? Jalen Hurts needs to go out there and have another clean, turnover-free game. I mean, we're bad with the turnover differential, -4 on the season. The Jags are even worse at -5. So they don't create a lot of turnovers. Jalen Hurts needs to go in and have a clean game, Brian. The Eagles need to go out there and put up 30, 35, 40 points on this Jaguars defense, which is 29th ranked overall defense in the league. They're the 9th ranked run defense, the Jaguars, 31st pass defense, and scoring 29th. So they give up 28 to 30 points per game, the Jaguars defense. You can throw for 300 yards against them. This is a game where A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith should go off. It's a game that you can still feed Saquon Barkley the ball, but expect to pass the ball and have that high-scoring affair on the Eagles side of the game, because that's what their weaknesses are. And Brian, you're not the first person to say trap game for the Eagles this week. You are not, because everything I've said for the first 10 minutes is so pro-Eagles. That the Eagles should win by 20, 30 points this week. Well, trap games are a thing. Trap games do happen. Next week is Cowboys, Dallas week in Dallas. So there's definitely a scenario where it can be like that. But I think the mentality of this Eagles team currently constructed doesn't allow trap games to happen. I'm hoping, at least. The Eagles' first championship was with Kelly Green. Yeah, it was a long time ago. Get your facts straight. Not while we were growing up. We need to beat the Jags with ease. I think that you have to. If the story, if the game plays out, and it's just, I've got a couple scores written down here, and one of the scores is Eagles win 31-27, and that's how this game plays out. We win 31-27, and it's not like they get 2 touchdowns in garbage time, the Jags. And it's a close, hard-fought game coming down where our defense needs to make a stop or we have to score to take the lead. Eagles fans are not going to be happy if that's the way it is. We need to be able to go out there and dominate so that when we go into Dallas next week, our confidence is even higher. Who's Dallas play this week? Dallas has got, I got all my games written down here. Dallas, Cowboys. Why can't, Falcons. They're in Atlanta this week, Dallas. Yeah. Doug Pederson could be fired if the Jags lose this game. So here's an interesting question, Mitch. Mitch Koff. How much do the Jags players, because we always talk on this show in Eagles Nation, the players have Nick Sirianni's back, that he hasn't lost the locker room really. So that's a conversation constantly we're having, right? Did Doug Pederson lose the locker room in Jacksonville? Because if he didn't, they know that his job is on the line. They're going to be playing for him. All right. So poetic justice, we could end the Jacksonville Jaguars Doug Pederson relationship this week with Kelly Green in Philadelphia. I've already read rumors that Doug Pederson and Trevor Lawrence are not on the same page and are not getting along. So whereas Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni, where they might disagree, they seem to always be on the same page. Okay. If it's a trap game, the reason why it's a trap game is because the Jaguars could be fighting for their coach's career. But I don't think they are. I think they've packed it in, packed it in, let it begin the next hour in Jacksonville. We need to go show some consistency. That is the thing that will keep me confident in them. And for God's sake, can we please score in the first quarter? Well, we almost scored the first quarter last week. Almost counts, right? Almost counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. And Eagles almost scored in the first quarter. Yes, we do. Problem is, this is not the week necessarily to expect a lot of running because the Jags' run defense is much better than. So we might see some more passes. Where last week was the first week we ran the ball in the opening drive more than passed it. It might be a different script this week. I hate the word script because we don't want them scripting anything anyway. So let's not script anything this week. Let's just go with the flow. I'm hoping their struggles early on don't allow a trap game to happen. Exactly, Big Al. I don't think this is not the early season. And I don't know if they had early season struggles, honestly. They had an extremely difficult schedule against tough teams traveling 3 of the first weeks of the year. This season was set up to be a struggle to start, no matter what, with the new coordinators, the new players, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't know if it was as bad of a struggle early on as we think it was. First drive touchdown would be great. It would be great, Brian. It would be fantastic. All right, the gatekeeper, what is up? Only bad thing about this is Nick getting fooled into trying to turn this team into a pass first during and after this game. Be like Vic and keep building on what's working. Honestly, I say that this should be a pass-heavy game, Eric, because the Jags' run defense is the 9th ranked in the league. But we are the, where's that? Second best run team in the league. So we are better than their rush defense. So our rush offense is better than their rush defense. So, yeah, you should still have a well-balanced team. The stats don't lie. I forget the exact number. This was like 2 weeks ago I saw it, and they've won twice since then, so I forget. The Jalen Hurts is probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 13-1, 14-1 as a starter now when he throws for 25 passes or less. The key to success is to manage the workload of Jalen Hurts and hand the football off. The last time we beat the Jags in 2022, the Eagles won 29-21. Our old friend Miles Sanders rushed for 2 touchdowns, 135 yards. Jalen Hurts was good when we were running the football consistently and often and successfully. And good morning to you as well. Do you feel sorry for Doug? No, not really. That's an interesting, fun question. Do I feel sorry for him? He did bring us our first Super Bowl, sure. He got unjustifiably fired probably because he and Howie and Jeffrey were on the same page. But you know what? It's been long enough that he's been gone, Todd. I don't feel sorry for him. I said it a few weeks ago, is Doug Pederson a one-hit wonder? He's like the Doc Rivers. He won his Super Bowl. He's living off of that. He won't get away from Press Taylor. I don't think Doug Pederson might ever win another Super Bowl as a head coach. Just did win. I was kind of surprised. Hell of a catch there from Garrett Wilson in the end zone last night. Team Kelly Green, hashtag whatever. Jaguars do stink. Will ATN play this week? So I didn't see the Jags practice report yesterday. I know on Wednesday he practiced limitedly, which is trending in the right direction. Brian Thomas also may play. He practiced limitedly both days. So that's trending in the right direction. But offensively speaking, even with those guys, the Jaguars' offense is 14th overall, which is actually not that bad. They're the 16th best rushing, 16th best passing team, and they're the 21st best scoring team. So they move the ball, but they settle for field goals, basically. Or they just don't score, or they turn it over. So, realistically speaking, we're the 8th best offense. Both teams have offense. Both teams have the ability to put points and move the football. The question is, can their defense stop us? And I don't think their defense can stop us. I think our defense can stop them just enough times. Stop. We're going to make this a Kelly Green day. You didn't have Brown. No. You usually don't have any good teams this year. Hard. This won't be a pass-heavy game. Jags can't stop the run. Well, according to the ranks I found online, they're the 9th ranked run defense in the league. 29th overall, 9th defense, 31st pass, 29th scoring. I don't remember whose page I grabbed that from, but I grabbed that online before the show. We start slow because Sirianni scripts the first 12 plays, and then Kellen Moore takes over. But we saw a little bit of change in that last week, Todd. We did. We saw a little bit more Kellen Moore in the scripted plays, hence why we moved the ball early and often. And I brought it up yesterday briefly, and I'm still shocked that it's not drawing much. Brian Baldinger on one of his Baldy breakdowns talking about how a few guys were tired of the offense and spoke up. So this team is run in a way where the stars of this team, the players on this team, are not afraid to speak up to the coaches, not afraid to speak their mind when they think things aren't going right. I don't feel sorry for Doug. He can get another job. He'll get another job. Will he get another head coaching job? I don't know. Let's get the first post. Jets get the first post Salah win. Yeah. I don't even think that they play. I didn't watch much of the game. It doesn't look like they played well. It just looks like Houston played really bad. The Jets defense is still pretty solid. Hurts got his $250 million. He not as hungry. Stop with that. Don't even say that. I don't feel sorry for Doug not doing well somewhere else any more than I did for Nick Foles. Yeah, like Big Al. Like I love the question from Todd. A few moments ago, but I just don't. I don't feel sorry for him at all. It didn't work out for him here. Great. He'll be a legend for us for the rest of life. He'll never pay for a meal in Philly again. But he's the competition now. I don't feel sorry for him. If we end his career tonight and get him fired tonight or tomorrow or Sunday, not tonight, what today's Friday. My mind's a mess today. If we end his football coaching career on Sunday, I'm going to be happy because that means the Eagles play a damn good game. I don't want Eagles fans taking it light on him once the clock starts. Afterwards, you can celebrate him. Before it, you can celebrate him. But I want to end his coaching career on Sunday, if that makes sense. I did a little research before the show. I did do research. I always do research, not before the show, yesterday. I did my research at like 12 o'clock yesterday afternoon. And then the Halloween rush started. And I literally did more business yesterday than I did on the Super Bowl last year. The busiest Halloween I've ever had at the pizza shop with a rock-bottom, bare minimum staff. Because all my staff wanted to go trick-or-treating because 16 and 17-year-olds trick-or-treat a lot, I guess, supposedly. So I'm exhausted right now. I don't remember where I got these stats, but I did pull them off the internet, intraweb. Bucs fans wanted Glenn Rivers fired like 2 weeks into his tenure last year. I joked on this very show, Mitch Koff, that he wouldn't even make it through his half a year there in Milwaukee. Milwaukee really screws the pooch quite frequently with the coaching situations. Yeah, now there's rumors that Giannis wants out of Milwaukee. We don't talk much about it because the Eagles suppressed it They own WIP and all the normal sports media in Philly. What's this supposed to mean? Why are you bringing up that they don't own WIP, but they pay them a lot of money? So, what's this in reference to, Duck? Doug will get hired by Andy Reid in some capacity. I'm not saying he won't get a job, Todd. I'm saying, will Doug Pederson get another head coaching job? Let's be honest. Trevor Lawrence has massively regressed. Just think back a couple years ago. Trevor Lawrence was leading the biggest comeback in playoff history. They were down like 37-3 or 31-3 in halftime of a playoff game against the Chargers, Justin Herbert. And Trevor Lawrence led that comeback, and that was supposed to be the start of the Trevor Lawrence ascension and takeover of the league. And it's just rock bottomed out big time. So some of that's got to be on Doug Pederson and Press Taylor. Phil, your money is no good here. Yeah. You going to be buying me stuff when you see me? I don't know that. Mitch is a Navich. What? There should be a law against 17-year-olds going trick-or-treating. Look, I have like 8 high school kids that work for me. Only one was willing to work last night. And that person made a ton of money in tips too, by the way. So lucky for her, and I even threw a little extra in there for her to make her very thankful for. She put in 3 hours. She wanted to be done by 7. And I'm like, that's fine. Get me through the dinner rush. She did. And she worked her ass off last night. I worked my ass off last night. My wife did. I am literally beyond belief exhausted. Literally did more than a Super Bowl Sunday sales in a 3-hour window last night. I don't know how I did it. We only made one mistake. Well, 2. I gave 2 people each other's. The wrong pizza went to 2 different people, and only one person complained. So one real mistake. So sucks, but it is what it is. Sixers blow right now. Well, yeah. We're trying to stay away from Sixers talk today as much as possible because, God forbid, we drag the energy level down on this show any, Todd. Because, yeah, the Sixers suck. Plain and simple. The reason they don't speak about players telling Sirianni to sit the hell down and let Moore do his job. Okay, gotcha. So WIP isn't covering it. But, see, the thing is, WIP ain't the only people on social media. Brian Baldinger, when he tweets something like that out, Duck, I expected somebody to pick up on it a little bit more. I make one joke on Twitter about Cooper DeJean or Dallas Goedert, and I get hundreds of thousands of impressions. I comment on Brian Baldinger's comment, and I got 3 clicks on it because it seems to be skating under. That not enough people realize how big of a deal it is, in a good way and a bad way, that players are speaking up about their dislike of the offense a few weeks ago. And I think it's a good thing that the players feel comfortable to be able to do that with their coach and not worry about upsetting their coach. But it also says something about your coach when your players have to speak up that they don't like the job you are doing, if that makes sense. I think it's a double-edged sword, the comment from Brian Baldinger, in a good way and a bad way. It was good for me. Except, like I say all the time, Duck, I am way too old to do this shit on a daily basis. My body can't physically handle doing that kind of business anymore and working like that. I'm just 25 years in the restaurant industry, 17 years owned my own restaurant. I'm just not what I used to be in shape like I could handle it. So according to Phil, if you make 2 mistakes and only one person complains, exactly. You like my math there? Well, I don't know. I never had time to call the other customer to even let them know that they were getting the wrong pizza. I don't even know if they got the wrong pizza. Maybe we just made one pizza twice instead of 2 separate pizzas. Whatever. It is what it is. It is what it is. Considering what I went through last night, and to say that there's only one little mix-up, not mistaken mix-up, 2 people getting the wrong thing, I'll take that any given Sunday. It's like the Eagles win by 40, and Jalen Hurts only made 1 turnover. That's what it basically is. Whose offense is it? It's Jalen Hurts' offense. It's Kellen Moore and Nick Sirianni's joint effort, Todd, is what it's being told to us it is. Even though originally we were told it was going to be Kellen Moore's offense. You still see pieces of Nick Sirianni's offense even last week in it. But every week you see more and more Kellen Moore involved and fingerprints all over it. By the end of the year, Todd, I fully expect it to be 100% Kellen Moore in control of it. I think the Eagles made the call, the major influences and sports personalities, to ask them out, ask them not covering this to help cover for Sirianni, who's been carrying a lot of water for the players. I don't know. Do you really think the Eagles call a radio station? I don't know, Duck, if I buy that. I mean, you might be right. I don't know if I believe it or not. Because also there's plenty of online media personalities that don't work for the radio stations that could have pushed it a little bit more. I don't know, Duck. I don't know if I feel that way or not. Phil act like dude, I feel like I'm 85 today. I really do. Trevor got $250 million, not as hungry. Come on, Phil made back. I did. But again, I'd rather make a little less if I had a few more employees on. Because, God damn, I'm too old for this. Pizza in the AM. I'm sure some people got some leftover pizzas last night. Yeah. No, don't. Correcting Phil. You see Sirianni interference in the offense. You do. Okay. So it's not a joint. It's not. It's he's interfering in it is a good way to put it. But he's interfering less and less week in and week out at this point. It seems like, at least, that his interference is trending downward because he's trusting in Kellen Moore. Maybe there's a little trusting too between Kellen Moore and Nick Sirianni, that they're building trust. Maybe that's it. Maybe they're building that trust game. And now Nick Sirianni, because let's be honest, if Kellen Moore fails, Nick Sirianni's fired, right? So maybe Nick Sirianni struggled to release some of that, that power to Kellen Moore. And as the season's going on, he's releasing more and more of it to him. Because really, it's always going to be on Nick Sirianni, the success or failure of this team. Jalen Hurts ain't going anywhere. Kellen Moore will get another job like that. But Nick Sirianni's going to get fired if they fail. So maybe that's where the interference is coming from early on. Sirianni runs Tecmo Bowl. Hey, let's not knock Tecmo Bowl. The greatest, Tecmo Super Bowl, the greatest football game of all time. Maybe one of the 3 greatest video games of all time. The follow-up to Tecmo Super Bowl. Taco Bell Decades menu is fire. I don't care. The Eagles love to play the credentials game. That is true. They really do. They will pull a credential from somebody in a heartbeat. Eagles play at 4 o'clock on Sunday. Kellen Moore is very creative and plays to Jalen Hurts' ability. Exactly. What's his ability? Simple. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, stupid. Kiss, right? Run the ball. Easy passes. Build the confidence up. Did you watch that Garrett Wilson catch? I saw the replay of it this morning because I wasn't watching much. I got home last night. I didn't even feel like clicking through my TV to get to Amazon last night. That was too much work last night. I literally turned it on. Whatever channel was on was what I watched. But I did see the replay, and it was a damn amazing catch last night. One-arm classic. Dude, it was an amazing catch. Sirianni isn't decreasing his interference because he trusts Moore. It's more he realizes he's about to lose his players if he doesn't stop interfering. That could be it too. That very well. If his players spoke up to him, Duck, and said, we need more of this and less of that, maybe he is. He does want to be loved by his players, so maybe that's what it is. That was a phenomenal catch. I mean, even Garrett Wilson will probably tell you, if you give him that play 10 out of 10 times, he's probably only catching it a few times. That was an extremely high, difficult catch there. Tecmo Super Bowl is a goated game. Absolutely, Mark. Not just goated. It's Contra and GoldenEye. 3 favorite games of all time, in my opinion. And I had a cheat code in that game. I don't remember exactly, but if you were the San Francisco 49ers and you played middle linebacker, I believe it was Matt Millen was the middle linebacker for the 49ers in that game. There was one defensive play you can run, and if you click that play, it was a guaranteed sack every single time because there was a glitch in that code somewhere. You can run through the offensive line. Like they couldn't block it. Like you can literally run right through the person and get the sack before they even handed the football off. It was the great hack of Tecmo Super Bowl. I would do season mode and end up with like 300 sacks and not give up a single point. And I'm like, that's just too easy. Let's stop using the hack. Yeah, that catch would make you yell ooh if you watched it in person. I made me yell ooh when I saw it on replay. Set that hut, 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 hut. Yeah, exactly. The catch was just wicked. I mean, very few people make that catch. I think his shin got inbounds. The Jets and Giants need to stop being on prime TV time. No, let them be on prime time. The more that those teams are on prime time, the less I have to worry about the Eagles being on prime time. I don't want the Eagles on prime time. 4 p.m., that's when I want the Eagles to play. That is prime pizza business, Mark. 4 p.m. football games. Next 2 weeks, 4 p.m. football games. Big money for Phil. 1 p.m. for my energy level. I like to watch 1 o'clock games. But for business, 4 p.m. I don't want Eagles on prime time. That's a business killer. Yeah, it was a catch. It was a clear catch. It was Sirianni's ego that he would not let the play calling go, because people ask, what do you do as CEO coach? Yeah, maybe Sirianni does have a little bit of an ego as well. That's true. You're believing too much social media some nonsense. Siri was never at risk of losing the locker room. Yeah, I don't think he lost the locker room last year. I think there was a break in the locker room last year, but I don't think he lost the locker room. Maybe Son Reddick had something to do with that, but we're not going to rehash that. Phil, my pizza guy wears 2 heavy knee braces to get through the night. Dude, I don't. My knees don't bother me as much as my back does. My hands hurt, doing all the dough. I've been in the restaurant business since I was 14. I'm 43. I worked 18 months on a cruise ship and 2 years at an Applebee's. So it's 3.5 years of my 29 years. And then the rest of my working life has been in a pizza shop. So my hands from rolling dough and tossing dough and cutting pizzas, my hands are absolute dog trash. So I wear braces sometimes on my hands. And my back, man, I needed a hot tub last night after work when I got home. I don't think Sirianni has a huge ego. I think he's trying to help in the wrong way. And because of the way he does that and how it fails, it looks like he has an ego. That's an interesting, from an outsider's perspective. He's trying to help the wrong way. He just doesn't know. Maybe he's just not smart enough. The right way to fix the problems. I just think Sirianni is a guy trying to help, and it just doesn't work out for him. Well, it's worked out. We're 3-0 in the last 3 weeks. I was rooting Jets because Rodgers is cool. Rodgers is not cool. I would never root for the Jets as long as Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback. All these Sirianni narratives are ignorant and silly. All right, so what's the correct narrative then, K1? Please give it to me. 4 p.m. is perfect. Well, 4 p.m. is perfect for business still. Me personally, I like to wake up in the morning, do a few chores, watch the game. Then after the game, I still get the rest of the night to do whatever, cook dinner, whatever. But for business, 4 p.m. is ideal. It is totally more Kellen Moore, pass happy when Sirianni was calling the play. Steichen takes over, that changes. Same problem. That's true, Big Al. That's true. If you look from the 21 to 22 time, too. So Nick Sirianni wants to throw the ball. Everyone else realizes you win games behind this great offensive line that has made Miles Sanders. I remember after the 2022 season, and we're letting Miles Sanders go. This is before DeAndre Swift. Like, how are you going to replace the double-digit touchdowns and 1,300 yards of Miles Sanders? I remember, like, pounding the drum. You can't let Miles Sanders go. And they replaced him like that. And DeAndre Swift looked amazing behind this offensive line. Then, like, DeAndre Swift goes, and now you bring in Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley is looking like a fresh young kid again behind this offensive line. That's what this team is built around. That's why they're the second best rushing team in the NFL right now. Who would have thought a former wide receiver coach would be pass heavy? True, for sure. It wasn't a glitch. It's a programmer fanboying. You can see a similar in Madden. Commies in Dallas are always better their player numbers. Giants are worse than their numbers. Gotcha. You need to feel the dough, though. I can only imagine the arthritis. Dude, I already had carpal tunnel from piano playing and stuff, Trinidad, and you add on top of it decades of pizza work. The carpal tunnel, I actually have nerve damage. I struggle to pick things up because I don't have feeling in the tips of my fingers anymore because the carpal tunnel got so bad that it developed nerve damage. Not going to lie on that. True story. So I got issues. With arthritis and carpal. Like, I wake up and my hands are like this in the morning. I have to, like, work hard. Like, most people's fingers, like, just hang like this. Mine hang like this. So yeah. Yeah. You're only 43. Yeah, I'm 43. I'm not 85 like I feel. I didn't say Sirianni lost the locker room. He fears losing the locker room, which finally made him let go of the offense. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's what the player speaking up shows. Sirianni adjusted, saved his job. Yeah, no one's criticizing or calling for Sirianni's job this week, which is great. No one is calling for his job. Now, you go out there tomorrow or Sunday and you throw out a stinker, they might be back on the fire Sirianni train, depending on how and why and all that. I despise Aaron Primadonna. Oh, I can't stand him either, Trinidad. If a coach doesn't work out, no, it can't possibly be Rodgers. Has to be the coach. That's the problem. Yeah, I mean, Aaron Rodgers just, I always say, he's the complete opposite of a class act. I used to not like Rodgers either, but recently we've got to know him more. Have you ever watched that kicker show? No, I don't know what the kicker show is. And whenever I've seen him on the Pat McAfee show, I just want to gag. I turn the channel. I am not an Aaron Rodgers fan. He's just a D-bag. Look at how civilized we are without Marshawn. Oh my goodness gracious. Don't worry. Marshawn's probably watching in the background, waiting for me to say his name, and then he appears. Just so you know. Sirianni fears being irrelevant. Sirianni fears being irrelevant. I'm trying to understand this because I think there's a good opinion here from Big Al. I'm just not sure how I understand it or how I feel about it. He wants to be the center of attention, and if he relinquishes too much control, he's not going to have that relevance. Maybe. I don't know. I think that's something very interesting. Maybe something to dive into there. Chat's 20 times better. Maybe. I think Sirianni feels a power struggle between him, the quarterback coordinators, and front office, and doesn't want to go down the road Dougie P. Well, he's going to go down the Dougie P road. Eventually, I feel. I still firmly believe that after the season, no matter what the results are, either Kellen Moore or Nick Sirianni will not be here next year. And it's unfortunate. If we win, Nick Sirianni stay, Kellen Moore will get a head coaching job. If we lose, Nick Sirianni goes, Kellen Moore gets promoted. It's just the way it's going to go. It's interesting. Fears being irrelevant, and Todd agrees. It's interesting. It's a very interesting way to phrase it. That how you could tell whose plays are being called. Pass, almost no motion, and nothing underneath to dump the ball off is Sirianni. And we saw a lot less of that last week because, again, he feared losing the locker room because players spoke up. And, again, I don't think enough is made outside of on this show of that. I understand more and more why Aaron Rodgers is estranged from his family. Yeah, exactly. I think the only coach that didn't give an F about being irrelevant is Bill Belichick or Andy Reid. Some of these older coaches only want to coach and win. I don't know. I think Bill Belichick had a much bigger ego than you're giving him credit for sure. Andy Reid, maybe. Maybe I agree on the Andy Reid side. They don't care about the media. They want to coach. Oh, they don't care about the media, but that doesn't mean that they care about being irrelevant or not. Sirianni needs to create more relationships with position coaches, other teams to develop his own staff. Absolutely. I mean, I shouted out 2 defensive coaches this week in where was the notes on those guys? I don't even remember their names now because I didn't even know who they were before I shouted them out the other day. Bobby King and Roy Anderson. Developing, maybe Vic Fangio's replacement. Now, who's going to be the guys that step up on offense? Is Kellen Moore teaching somebody how to run an offense? I don't know. Laurie Roseman will never allow another coach to amass control and power like Reid ever again. Well, they did. They let Chip Kelly get that. Chip Kelly ruined it for everybody else. Now, I think there's a counter to that, Mark, that they won't, I agree, unless it's a certain kind. Like, it's too late now. But if Bill Belichick was 5 years younger and Bill Belichick went to Laurie and Roseman and said, yo, I'll come coach your team, they would relinquish that power and control. There's a certain level of, like, if Andy Reid said, yo, I want back, they might for Andy Reid. If it's a legendary coach, they might. Because they do care about winning. They do want to win. But for the most part, they're not going to hire a Jim Harbaugh. They're not going to hire, I don't know who, other big names out there right now. They're going to always go for guys that are yes men to them. Because again, I mean, we go back to it years ago with Doug Pederson. Like Howie Roseman picks who's active on game day, not the coach. You know, Howie Roseman helps select these coordinators, not the coach. So I think it's crazy. Do you think that Slay at some point will be sidelined until he's proven he's 100% because it seems he's nursing an injury? Yesterday's practice report, Darius Slay did not practice. I'm actually expecting Darius Slay not to play this week, Jose. Jacksonville, no Christian Kirk. Brian Thomas is 50-50 to play. I think this is a week you can rest Darius Slay and get him correct. Plus, Isaiah Rodgers has played damn well filling in for Darius Slay. So he might be seeing a slight change and a shift into the younger cornerback there. Not to say Darius Slay's bad. Darius Slay is still one of the best cornerbacks in the last 20 years for the Eagles, without a doubt. He's still got something left in the tank, but you're seeing a little shift here to Isaiah Rodgers. And you might as well rest him until he gets 100% because Darius Slay healthy for the playoffs is all that really, truly matters. 5-year shelf life is tops for Eagles head coaches. You might be right. You might be right. If Doug Pederson doesn't win us that Super Bowl, Mark, in 2017, does Doug Pederson get the ego to push back on Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie? Maybe Doug Pederson shouldn't have pushed back because he's obviously having no success elsewhere in Jacksonville. I don't know. The power struggle on who's the coordinators, et cetera. You know, maybe if he doesn't win the Super Bowl, he's still here. It's Chip. I think Andy didn't have the power. Andy had power at one point in his tenure here, Duck. I do remember Andy Reid making final decisions after Joe Banner, at the beginning of Howie Roseman. I think it was really Andy that was in full control of the team. I don't view it as an ego. I truly think Bill was a coaching genius. He's earned that ego. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to take anything away from Bill Belichick. You can't just say it was all Tom Brady. I get that. On the flip side, I do think a lot of it was Tom Brady. I think a lot of, though, any super successful head coach, any point in time in the history of the NFL, always had a pretty damn good Hall of Fame-worthy quarterback at their side, right? I mean, Andy Reid was nothing before he got to Kansas City and got Patrick Mahomes. I shouldn't say nothing, but he wasn't what he is now. Go back into the 70s, 80s. There was always a strong quarterback, a quarterback attached to an elite head coach. Reid was the template. They gave it a chance to Chip Kelly, but Chip Kelly ruined it. Chat is tripping. He used to date Danica. Yeah, I just saw a Danica video, but it was politics. I also don't think Tom Brady would have been as successful if it wasn't for his pieces of offensive coordinator, but mainly the coaching genius that is Bill Belichick. Well, Bill Belichick really didn't have anything to do with the offense. He's a defensive mind. Sirianni is a good coach, poor play caller. I think that Todd sums it up for the most part right there. I think that's accurate as can be. Right now, he doesn't know enough young coaches to develop his own staff here or anywhere else. That's why all the coaches since Steichen are Howie coaches. Yeah, it's possible. Slay will probably not play this week. This is his rest week. Yeah, I don't think he plays either. Now getting back into the game this week itself, Becton is practicing. It looks like Mekhi Becton will clear concussion protocol and be available. I'm expecting the Eagles to go back to him and put Tyler Steen back on the bench, but has Tyler Steen earned the right to stay as the starter? Because he's played damn well every time he's filled in for Becton this year, during this current stretch and the previous times that he missed time. You've got a lot invested in Steen as the younger draft pick. Becton's on a 1-year prove-it deal, although I wouldn't mind them keeping him around, honestly, for depth. But I hate people losing their jobs because of an injury, but this scenario might scream, you keep Steen going. The team has been better the last couple of weeks. Why break that up? Thoughts on Ringo, Keely Ringo? I like Keely Ringo. I thought Keely Ringo would push Isaiah Rodgers aside because he's younger, the draft pick. Rodgers on a 1-year deal. But it seems like Keely Ringo can't get on and stay on the field. Now, I don't do college football. I don't know what he was like in college, what kind of system. Maybe the Eagles don't run a system that Ringo would be best suited for. But it seems like Isaiah Rodgers is clear-cut ahead of Keely Ringo. Ringo is a depth piece right now. And going forward after this year, you've got Cooper, you've got Quinion, you've got Ringo, and maybe they keep Rodgers. You've got a nice core four right there, a young cornerbacks to build upon. But he's okay, in my opinion. I don't think he's lived up to the hype that we hoped for him after last season. Some coaches' teams would kill for the Harbaugh family coaches, Bill Belichick, Andy Reid, Don Shula, Tom Landry. Hell, some NFL teams would kill for Vince Dooley and Kirby Smart from Georgia. The Raiders will pick up Dougie P just because of the Super Bowl win. So you're saying yes, Dougie P would get a job right away. I don't know. Maybe. Belichick used to date Danica. No, Aaron Rodgers did. Becton will be somewhere else next season because Steen seems to be taking the step up. And I agree, probably, because Becton's proving that he's a starter. But, I wouldn't mind depth at the position because these guys get hurt so often. My question is, should you just move on? Keep Steen as the starter now. Look, Becton, you've done well. But we've got a lot invested in Tyler Steen being the future at that position. Let's see if he can keep rolling. Injuries happen. Your opportunity will come again. What's up, Tiger? How you doing? Over on the X platform, guys, if you're watching on X, you can comment just like Tiger here. You got to open the video and click in the box, not underneath the tweet. Can't overlook Jacksonville. They're pretty desperate. And that's the question. Are they desperate, Tiger? Are they fighting for Doug Pederson? Or have they given up on Doug Pederson? That is the question on the Jacksonville side. On paper, the Eagles are 1,000% better than Jacksonville in all aspects of the game. But the question is, are they fighting for Doug Pederson? Is it a trap game for the Eagles because they're looking ahead to Dallas next week? That's the question. I hope that the better team does what they're supposed to do and just dominates Jacksonville. And I've heard some rumors, especially between Trevor Lawrence and Doug Pederson, that they're not on the same page, Tiger. So maybe there's something there. Danica wishes she could date Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick, I just see his Halloween costume. He was a fisherman. He had his 25-year-old girlfriend. It's just weird. 25-year-old girls dating 70-year-old men. It's icky to me. Stoutland loves Mekhi Becton, and that's fine. And I agree. I like Mekhi Becton too. But I see Tyler Steen as the future. Becton is just Becton was brought in here just being a fill-in piece to an extent. Ringo can't go on and stay on the field due to a bit of bad luck. Roger makes a bad betting decision and became available. If that didn't happen, Ringo would be out there. Yeah, I think the bad betting obviously really screwed up Isaiah Rodgers. And we said it when we brought him in here. It was a huge move by Howie to bring him in here when he couldn't play all of last year anyway. You got a huge, very low risk, high reward thing in Isaiah Rodgers. Ringo is what he is. He's the backup. And you need solid backups in the NFL. So even with Darius Slay, he's the fifth guy on this team now. And when Darius Slay's not out there, he's the fourth cornerback. You don't need that. You need those kind of players. Jags are selling parts already. Are they? Have they made trades? I haven't even noticed that. Again, week's been a whirlwind. Y'all know where I'm going. This is a Jaguars spot. It might be, honestly. I don't think it is, but you're not wrong in feeling that way. Getting a win Sunday is a must. Going 6-2 after Sunday is a better because Dallas is where this team struggles a lot. Yeah, I mean, no matter what the Cowboys are each given year, Tiger, you always want to go into Dallas with positive momentum. It's always going to be a hard-fought battle between the Cowboys and the Eagles. Never going to be a pushover. Even if the Cowboys go out and lose this week to the Falcons, it's not going to be a pushover. Their season's trending down, but it doesn't matter. It's Eagles, it's Cowboys, it's a big rivalry. There'll be a lot of Eagles fans down there as well. You got to get the win. You got to. But is Jacksonville fighting for their coach's job? Not every player wants to be back up. No, not every player does. But sometimes you just got to be. Only when I bet Christian Bazun to win a golf tournament. K1. There's no golf this week. I don't know what I'm doing. What's the Eagles game pizza special? Well, it depends. We got lots of them. I do just like Corpelise does. I do an Eagles tomato pie with the Eagles logo on it. That's always fun and popular. We got a pizza and wing specials, pizza and breadstick specials. We got lots of specials at the pizza shop, Todd. Always have lots of specials at the pizza shop. That's where I make my money. And 4 o'clock games, the problem with that is that I got to work some of them sometimes. And I probably got to work a little bit this Sunday because my staff sucks. But anyway, moving on. Guys, you're watching Trending in the AM right here on the STT Sports Network. Please, wherever you're watching, please hit that like button, that subscribe button on the YouTube page. Please do that for me. Please, if you've already done that, hit the share button, turn the notifications on. Would greatly appreciate any and all of that support. We're up to 219 subscribers coming into the show today. Not too bad. We are starting. This is, again, like I said, this is the start of my 4th year of doing Trending in the AM, and boy, has it evolved over the years. Boy, has it evolved. From a little random idea I had 3 years ago to what it's become now, and I couldn't have done it with each and every one of you, especially the Core 12, the OG Core 12 as well. If it has the Eagles logo, how is it edible? So it's Parm cheese. So I got a little stencil I lay over top of the sauce, and I shake Parm cheese, and where the cutouts are, you lift the stencil up, and the Parm cheese shapes the Eagles logo and the Eagles name. So it's pretty cool. There's no need to acquire players in trades. This team is finally building momentum, and we should let our guys keep gelling. Next week's the trade deadline. Tuesday's the trade deadline, along with Election Day. And I think the last 3 weeks have kind of changed what you need. I still think the Eagles could make a move, Tiger, but I don't think they need to go out and make a big splash move. I'm not trading a first-round pick. I'm not trading a second and third-round pick. I'm not going out there and getting Max Crosby or Myles Garrett. Now, would I like another depth piece on the defensive line or two? Absolutely. Dallas Goedert's not going to come back anytime soon. Maybe I'd like another tight end? Possibly. But that's it. I'm looking for fringe pieces. I'm looking for depth pieces. Or I'm waiting until after the deadline where players get cut, that players that teams are trying to trade can't trade, and then they get cut. I wouldn't mind another offensive lineman, depth pieces, practice squad guys. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not trading. We only have 7 draft picks next year. A first, second, third, fourth, and 3 fifths. Maybe I give up one of those fifths. Maybe 2 of them. But I'm not giving up anything else. With this team, the way it's constructed, you need those first, second, third round picks, and you need them to hit because you've got lots happening. You got a lot of high-paid players. You got guys that need contract extensions. You don't have a boatload of cap space. You need those young, cheap, controllable players to balance out your roster, and you got to hit on them. So I'm not making big, bold trades anymore at this point. Calcaterra has been filling in nicely, and he's making a great plays. A lot of his catches are going for big yards. He still leaves a lot to be desired, Todd, in the blocking aspect of things, Todd. And behind him, you don't have anybody else, really. You got Jack Stoll. You got Alberto. So and Jack Stoll got hurt, didn't he, in the last game? Actually, he wasn't on the practice report, so maybe he's okay. Yeah, he's not. So maybe Stoll's okay. But you need something behind Grant Calcaterra, especially if when Goddard goes down and inevitably misses time like he is now. I still can't comprehend why they didn't put Dallas Goedert on IR. This will be his 3rd straight week he missed. I know you have to miss a minimum of 4 games, and maybe they're hoping for him to be back for Dallas week. But really, you're wasting a roster spot by not putting him on IR at this point. Here's a random football question that I don't know the answer to. Can you like in baseball, if a player, you don't put him on the injured list, but he doesn't play in a game, you could backdate his injury list timing to the last game he played. So he got hurt on Friday. He doesn't play. It's now the next week on Thursday. You could backdate it to Saturday so that you speed up when he's available. Can you do that in football? So the 4 games on IR, can you backdate it 3 weeks ago? I don't think you can, but still, it's really interesting to me that they never did it. We do need those draft picks. And I guess you agree with me. You know, we need those young, controllable, cheaper players than filling this team out with high-priced guys. For every high-priced player, you got to have a cheap guy on the team. Calcaterra can't block, but he can fly. Exactly. And that's fine, K1. Having a tight end that can catch and not block, that's fine. There's lots of teams that have those kind of tight ends. But you got to have a blocking tight end to back them up. Now, maybe you don't need a blocking tight end now that we're using Ben Van Sumeren as a fullback. Maybe that takes away that need for a second tight end. And Ben Van Sumeren's doing a fantastic job when getting the opportunity to block. You got to love that. But I would love to see if Ben Van Sumeren can catch out of the backfield or run out of the backfield. That would be interesting as well. A little wrinkle to throw into the offense as well. A little fullback dive on 4th and 1. Why not? Line up an I formation instead of giving it to Barkley. You give it to Ben Van Sumeren. I'd be curious. But maybe you don't need that backup tight end when you got Ben Van Sumeren doing what he's doing. I don't know if that's correct or not. I'm just throwing that out there. Albert O practiced in full yesterday. All week this week. So Albert O could be coming off of IR this week. And he might. If Dallas Goedert's not going, which they haven't ruled him out technically, Albert O is a candidate to be activated this week. Now, I don't expect much out of Albert or Aqua Bowman or whatever you want to call him. We know what he is. He's not good. This is one of Howie's mistakes when he traded for him, that he just won't let go of the guy. Should let go of the guy, but he won't let go of the guy. We do have to. We're actually a very young team, Tiger. Very few aging veterans, but we got a lot of expensive in their prime players as well. Guys on their second and third contract, they're costing a lot of money. So you need young guys that are cheaper. Ben Van Sumeren has the best hands on the team. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I hope so. That'd be cool. I wish. PayPal and Venmo's down below. You can hook me up with $500 anytime. Not you, though. You got a divorce to pay for. Ben needs a number in the 40s because he's so versatile. He does. I love a player like Ben Van Sumeren so much. Just because this guy knows he's not getting on the field as a linebacker very often. He's playing special teams, and he's doing exactly what he can to help the team in any way necessary. So scout team and training camp, I'll line up on fullback to help the defense out a little bit. Sure. Team's like, yo, mind blocking on a few plays? You used to do it. He's like, sure. Whatever gets me on the field to play, I am going to do it. And I love players like that. What's his name from the Patriots years ago did that. He was a quarterback, turned wide, secondary, turned wide receiver. Never played wide receiver until they asked him to do it. Was that which wide receiver? Which small little white dude? Not Danny Amendola. Whatever. I love guys that don't have a role, but they're athletic and they're on a football team. So they do whatever it takes to get on the field and keep earning that paycheck. I love it, love it, love it. And a guy like Ben Van Sumeren is a guy, every team needs a guy like that that's willing to do whatever it takes to survive. Calcaterra is really benefiting in this new offense. Guy was underutilized a year ago. Dallas Goedert missed time last year too, Tiger, and he didn't step up last year. Ben Van Sumeren at fullback is very creative. It's not that creative, honestly. He played it in college. He played, I think, through his sophomore year. He didn't start playing linebacker until the junior year of college. So he was a fullback. There's only like 3 fullbacks in the league, though. Daniel Jones, what? No, he doesn't. He gets what he deserves. I don't even know. Why didn't that come off? There we go. I got a feeling Dallas is going to be gone after this contract. Probably. I wouldn't be shocked if the Eagles draft a tight end early in the next draft. What's up, Booch? The Booch is loose. Dotson gets a touchdown this week. Ooh, there's a bold prediction. I wonder what the odds are on that. I'm gonna look up the touchdown odds on that, and maybe just for the Booch, maybe I make a bet on that because I'm a degenerate. Let us trade him to the Eagles for Hurts. Hurts suck. Oh, okay. I see what you're trying to do there. Quite possible, Eric. We need a more reliable type. Dude, we've been saying it before he got hurt this year, or right when he got hurt, before he missed his first game, K1. I had the numbers, and I read them off on this show. I think over the last 4 years, he's missed a combined 17 games coming into this stretch of games. Okay? And he's already going to miss 3. That means in the last 4, he's missed more than a season of football in the last 4 years. We're up to 20 games counting this week in the last 4 years. You can't help the club from the tub. It's time to move on. He can never be a tight end 1. And let's be honest, he's never, because he's hurt, maybe because of the offense, the way it's structured. It's not like he's put up a 1,000-yard season or anything like that. Is he? Interesting. Interesting. I used to watch Dancing with the Stars. I'm not gonna lie. Back in the day when it first started, I was really into Dancing with the Stars at first. It was a secret little thing I had. I enjoyment in. What positions do they add before Tuesday? Honestly, Booch, if they add defensive tackle or edge rusher, that'd be great. I actually don't think they add anybody. I think they wait till post trade deadline now and add people on the waiver wire. Depth pieces. They're not trading their first round pick for Max Crosby. They're not trading second round picks. Maybe they move a fifth round pick, maybe, but that's it. I don't think they get crazy. I think they're happy with the team they have. The Eagles are going to really regret not incorporating him more. I wish you could spread the ball around more like McNabb. That would completely unlock this offense. Who? Dallas Goedert? Dallas Goedert has missed the equivalent of over one season due to injury. Players are no good on the injured list. He's gone. Coming into this injured list, he had already missed 17 games in the last 4 years, Mark. Now he's missed 3 more. That is 20 games in a 4-year stretch. I don't know how. I don't know if I go back to the right amount. I don't know. It's just insane. It is. You're not just saying a Dotson touchdown. You're saying a Q first pick too. Man, I wish there was a place I could parlay those two things happening. Goddard gets hurt yearly. They should also get rid of Maddox. Well, Maddox shouldn't even be on this team right now. I think if they need a roster spot, Avonte Maddox could be one of those late season cuts. Not trying to do anything. Daniel Jones is Tom Brady. Oh, okay. Yeah. Not trying to do anything. Right. But when he's available, we don't use him unless we are out of options. No, we don't. We don't use him. Maybe he's just not that good. Maybe if you're hurt so often, you can't develop chemistry with your quarterback. He's good when he's healthy, but we need to keep getting younger and build for. Yeah, absolutely agree with you. That's because Jalen won't look his way. 1, where's number 11? 2, where's number 6? 3, run. Can you blame him, though, for where's A.J. Brown to where's Devontae Smith? And normally, how many quarterbacks can get to their 3rd or 4th read before a pocket collapses? So, if you're looking for A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, you're doing the right thing. You look for your 2 best players on every given play, right? Very limiting when your quarterback doesn't go. How many quarterbacks can go through 3, 4 progressions before a pocket collapses? I'm just curious. McNabb would give his left big toe to have Goddard, Dotson, Smith, AJ. I love how you're throwing Dotson in there with that catch, but we talked about that already. Yes, Marshawn. The Wilson catch was pretty amazing. Yo, let's not start drama in the chat. Not today. Not today. The World Series is long over. Long over. We're focused on the Eagles and the NFL. We're focused on this Eagles game. Is it a trap game? Is it a game that the Jaguars are fighting for Doug Pederson's coaching career at this point? Or do the Jaguars just say, let's lose and get Dougie P out of town? If we had that talent with McNabb, he would have a Super Bowl ring and be a Hall of Fame candidate by now. Yeah, I mean, I think it's borderline argument that he might be a Hall of Fame candidate. He's not, but borderline close already. Focus on, they're not losing. Jalen has had clean pockets. He just holds onto the ball. I mean, I don't know why you could complain about what Jalen Hurts has done the last 3 weeks. He's gotten rid of the ball. He's made great throws. He's made timing throws. He's gotten the ball downfield. He hasn't turned the ball over in 3 weeks. Hasn't thrown an interception in 4 games. So I don't know why or how you can complain anything about Jalen Hurts right now. Maybe before that, sure. But right now, Jalen Hurts is playing clean, positive football on a weekly basis. You're going to be at the game on Sunday. Good for you. Good for you. Decked out in Kelly Green, I guess, right? You won't get through Phil. Look, say what you will. I mean, I've criticized Jalen Hurts when he deserves it. Right now, he does not deserve criticism, Marshawn. Jalen Hurts is playing great football the last 3 weeks. I mean, the proof's in the pudding. Nope. I must endeavor to try. No, you don't have to try. You can just be honest with yourself and understand that he's playing good football right now. I love that plus 7.5 for the Jags. Is that what I wrote down here? Yeah, it's still 7.5. I don't love that. I don't like the line in general. Sprinkling some of the money line. No way. No way. Is that what the money line? Oh, the Eagles are minus 380, plus 280. Yeah, Eagles ain't losing that game. No way. The Kelly Green has become more of a the Kelly Green thing has become more of a triggering thing for you guys than me. I really just pump the Kelly Green jokes just to trigger everybody because I know how much it triggers you. Criticized? What? What? I don't even know what you're saying. The plays that they install for Jalen should have 3 options installed. Check AJ, check Devontae, check Barkley, then run. If there's another play, it should attach the 2 others, wide receivers that are open. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty honest. It's pretty accurate. Again, you guys are watching Trending in the AM right here on the STT Sports Network. Like, subscribe, please. It's time for me to go through the NFL Sunday slate. Jalen has really turned things around. So has the entire team. Absolutely. Absolutely agree, Tiger. 100%. Obviously, last week I went 9-7. So, yes, Mitchie Poo. I'm 69, 53, and 3 on the year in my predictions against the spread. I've already started the year out, or the week out, week 9, 0-1, because I had the Texans +2 last night, and obviously that didn't work. So 1 p.m. slate of games. First, Cowboys at Atlanta. Falcons are 3-point favorites. I actually think the Cowboys win the game on Sunday. Why? Falcons aren't that good either. Dolphins at Buffalo. Buffalo's a 6-point favorite. Buffalo covers the spread. Raiders at Cincinnati. Cincinnati's a 7-point favorite. Cincinnati wins that game and covers the 7-point spread. Chargers at Cleveland. Cleveland, 1.5-point dogs. Cleveland wins this game over the Chargers. Sneaky feeling on that one. Pats at Titans. Titans are 3.5-point favorites. I got the Titans covering the 3.5-point spread against the Patriots. Commanders at New York Giants. Giants are 4-point dogs. I think the Commanders win, but I think it's a close game. I'll take the Giants +4. Saints at Carolina. The Panthers are 7-point dogs. Saints cover the -7. Broncos at Baltimore. Baltimore's 9.5-point favorites over the Broncos, which I'm shocked at. I'm going to take the Broncos in the 9.5 points in that game. Ravens win it, but Broncos cover. Let me catch up on some comments, and we'll get to the 4 o'clock games. Eagles don't deserve to be at -380. Stop. Phil digs up advanced stats since 2022 when Jalen plays bad to galvanize his quarterback. Phil respects Jalen when he plays. What? Stop. You're just trying to trigger me at this point in the morning because you don't have anything to argue with Trinidad about, so you're just going to pick on me today. Hurts is not and should not be in the MVP talk at this point. He's played poorly and just starting to get out of the funk. I'm not saying he's an MVP right now. I mean, his MVP odds have gotten better. He was 15-1 to start the year. About 4 weeks ago, he was in the 20-25-1. He's back to 15-1 to win the MVP right now. So he's getting better. Eagles don't bleepity bleep. They do care. Did I hear 69? You did. It's like it's like if you say Marshawn's name, he appears. If you make a 69 joke, Mitchie Poo normally appears, and he did not. I don't know what's going on. It's like the world's coming to an end. Panthers to cover. I don't know. I thought about it, honestly, Trinidad, but I don't know. Bill does confirmation bias as well as what? Stop. Give me the Ravens to cover and win it. I think the Ravens win it. It's a tough spot for the Broncos for sure, but 9.5 points is a lot. You guys are hilarious. Ravens got embarrassed. That's why I think they win. I'm fine with Slay being out Sunday. Rodgers is good. Yeah, look, I'm good with Darius Slay sitting, getting 100% healthy. He hasn't practiced yet this week at all. So I actually do truly expect Slay to sit this week. You said keep it clean in the chat. You don't know what you want. Oh, my God. What I want. Marshawn can't cook me no more. Okay, gotcha. No one cared. No more wins, Phil. What? Yeah, that's right. See, he was here. He was listening to the 69 joke. He was there. Oh, look at that. Say his name, and he appears. I believe in Mitchie Poo. Hey, Marshawn. Stop. Here we go. Sixers talk. Hopefully this defense finally gets more turnovers like they are with the sacks. They got 2 last week. Let's keep pushing that there. Sixers suck like the Yankees. What's your point? Exactly. Phil refutes it. Stop. What? Stop. Okay. You guys try to pick on me, but I don't let it. I'm not going to let you guys bring me down. Baseball's done. Knicks are, look, baseball's over. I'm not even worried about baseball. And I'm not worried about the Sixers today. All right, 4 o'clock games on the schedule. Obviously, Eagles-Jags. We'll get to my Eagles-Jags prediction in a moment. Bears, Cardinals in Arizona. Cards are 1.5-point favorites. I think the Bears win that game outright. Lions, Packers in Green Bay. Packers are 3.5-point dogs. I got the Packers covering. It's going to be a 3-point game. I think the Packers could win that game and beat the Lions, but I'm going to take the Packers plus 3.5 in that game for sure. And the final 4 o'clock game, Rams at Seattle. The Seahawks are 1.5-point dogs at home. I'll take the Seattle. The Rams won last week, but I think Seattle wins this week. So that's that game. We'll get to the Jags game in a minute. We'll do Sunday Night Football in a second because I think there's a brief conversation to have about the Indianapolis Colts there and their benching of Anthony Richardson. Phil, get your boy Trinidad. He's running out of material. I'm living in peace here. I'm living in peace too. Nolan Smith, whatever the emoji is, it didn't pop up on the screen. Dean are finally contributed and building. Huff is even coming. Nolan Smith, over the last 3 weeks, I saw someone, maybe it was DeBona, maybe it was Shane Haff, somebody, has the highest rated win rate in pass rush in the NFL over the last 3 weeks. Finally. And I remember something. Remember Brandon Graham was a bust for 3 years? Nolan Smith's only halfway through his second year. Sometimes you got to be patient with these young defensive ends and edge rushers when they come into the NFL. So I know a lot of people wanted to say that Nolan Smith was a bust. I've always been, let's be patient. Let's give it 2 to 3 years before we say that. Yeah, I mean, we'll still talk basketball, obviously, but now it gets your boy. It wasn't, whatever. No, don't lay the points with the Packers, Phil. No? Are you buying the Lions and the Packers are both. Packers, I think, are on a 4-game winning streak. The Lions are the best team in the NFL, in my opinion. But the Packers are a top 10 team, too. It's a division game. First place is on the line in the division. Lions with 1 loss and Packers with 2. So I think it's going to be a hard-fought, close game. I'm surprised that's not the Sunday Night Football game. Whatever. And Love and Reed are a little banged up. Okay. Cowboys aren't even thinking about football. Nolan Smith has been good for 3 weeks in a row. Yeah, and that's something to build upon. Not saying he's going to be great forever, but it's something to build upon and start to gain that confidence. You guys trash me all the time. You should be trashing him more, not me. They are thinking about their podcast. Yeah. Anyway, so Colts at Minnesota. Minnesota's 5-point favorites. I got the Vikings winning that game. But Joe Flacco is shockingly starting the game. They have benched Anthony Richardson. And what's Anthony Richardson now? Started like 8 games in his career. Is it the right move to bench Anthony Richardson at this point? Hey, Todd, deuces, have a good one. I'll predict my game in a little bit here, but I do have the Eagles winning. You'll have to come back and rewatch the end to see my final score prediction. So many quarterbacks get started right out of college, and they fail because of the teams they're on, because they're not ready. The Colts are doing him a disservice by benching him? Did they do him a disservice by starting him in the first place? Did they do him a disservice by running him when he's injured? I actually feel bad for Anthony Richardson at this point. I actually really, truly do. But again, so many quarterbacks, they start way before they're ready to. And before the teams are ready to have them start. And then their careers start to fall apart. What's going on in Indy, starting and stopping and starting and stopping with Anthony Richardson, plus all the injuries mixed in, you're potentially doing a disservice to him and his career at this point. Killing his confidence. Now, I know Anthony Richardson tried to tap out in a game the other day, and that's annoyed some people and whatnot. And it's fine. I get it. But I think it's a really interesting thing right there. Bring your friends. Oh, my goodness gracious. You want me to bring other New Yorkers? Sure. So I'm going to say subscribe, hit the like button, and share it out. Sure. I mean, isn't there a New York chat where you can be amongst your... No, I don't want anybody to go away. I want my chat to continue to boom. Phil, don't trash each other. Also, Phil, you should be trashing him. That is true. Good catch on that one. I'll give you credit on that one right there. Smith wasn't utilized much as a rookie. More he plays, the more... Nolan Smith was also hurt in training camp last year. All right. I believe it was a shoulder injury. So that got him off to a slow start as well. If the core 12 is Phil's Fantastic Four, then Trinidad is Dr. Doom, the lion in the sand. Is he Dr. Doom? Yeah, maybe. Trash no one, taunt all. This is my credo. That's I like that. Taunt, not trash, right? Phil, you like sneakers or could give? I'm not a sneaker guy. I wear New Balance because they're good on my back, good for my back, being on my feet all day long. So I'm not. I look for the cheapest sneakers. I don't understand why people spend $300 on Jordans and stuff like that and collect them and save the boxes and all. That's not me. Eric, you saying Flame? Is Eric Johnny Flame? Trinidad is Solo Sikoa. Okay, gotcha. Why not? The more the merrier. Yeah, look, it's all. I want more and more. The more subscribers, the better. The more comments, the better. Dr. Doom is a compliment. Is it? Is it? I don't know about that. I love my New Balances. That's for a guy that's on their feet. If you're on your feet all the time, New Balances are the way to go. I'm on my feet. I blow through a pair of New Balances every 6 months. So I'm on my feet 12 hours a day in the pizza shop kitchen every single day. So New Balances are what they are. The best. Jordans and Nike surprisingly did terrible this year. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really get into the shoe thing. Phil is New Balance and Crocs kind of guy. I have a pair of Crocs. They were bought for me. I hate them. I'm not a Crocs guy at all, but I have a pair. New Balance, yeah, dude. New Balances are the best shoes in the world. They are. Grandpa shoes are in. Look, they are grandpa. The pair I have right now of New Balances, they're like gray on like different shades of gray. They look like an old man shoe. But you know what? They're $50 and they're comfortable. My back doesn't hurt. So you know what? It is what it is. Skechers, I have a pair of Skechers slip-on shoes, and I'm not a big fan of them. I think they're a little overrated. Crocs are terrible. Hot tamale, if you know, you know. Yeah. Anyway, guys, we're in the final 10 minutes of the show here. I got to get an Eagles prediction. I don't know what any of your predictions are. K1, I'm borderline ready to agree with you on that one. Just so you know. Actually, I think tamales are overrated. Out of Mexican food, they're at the bottom of my thing. There's so much better Mexican food than tamales. Crocs, my bad. Yeah, look, Crocs suck. Jaguars and the game over. I don't even know what the over-under is on this game. Let me look real quick. I'm actually curious now that you say that. 45.5. I take the over for sure in the game. But, guys, so as always, I've got 4 scores written down here. All 4 are Eagles wins. I think the Eagles are going to put up some points. I think the Eagles are going to win this game. I think they're going to cover. Okay, these are the scores I wrote down. And I think I know which one I'm picking on. I almost thought like we beat the Bengals 37-17. I'm like, maybe we win this game 37-17. But I don't know if that's ever happened where a team wins a game 2 weeks in a row with the same exact score. I'm highly doubting that that's even ever happened. So I wrote down 40-17, 27-14, 31-27, which means they don't cover the spread, and 31-17. And I have zoned in on, and I have predicted that the Eagles will beat the Jacksonville Jaguars 31-17. Don't know if I agree with Booch. I don't know if a Dotson touchdown's coming. I don't know if the Quinion Mitchell interception is coming or not. But I do think this is going to be one of those games where Jalen Hurts throws for close to, if not over 300 yards. Not because he's thrown 35 times, just because the Jags defense is really bad, 31st against the pass. So we're going to have a couple big plays, and then we run the clock with Saquon Barkley and Kenny Gainwell and what else. I think this is going to be one of those games where 31-17, and it's not even close. I could see it being 31-10 late in the game, and we give up a late touchdown to whoever the backup quarterback is in Jacksonville. Because of garbage time. That's where I see it. And I do foresee by Monday morning, maybe even before we're finished the show on Monday morning, that Doug Pederson will be fired as the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars after this game. The Kelly Green vibe, the vibe of this team in general, continues to trend upward this week. Big game all around. I am very, out of all the games I predicted this year, I'm most confident in saying not only do the Eagles win, but the Eagles cover the 7.5 point spread. It just feels so easy to me. Caps lock is for your money to lose. Yeah. It's house money. 33-17 Eagles. I can see that. I said 31-17, 33-17. Very doable. 29-23. I doubt that's even remotely close. I like this score too, Mitch. I know it's a low-scoring game, but 28-7 and like completely shutting down the Jaguars offense with our defense, and building upon this defense, it's been good. I really do truly like this low score as well. I think you might be onto something here, Mitchie, with that prediction right there. Stop. Dougie P is the greatest Eagles coach. Sure, but he's a terrible Jaguars coach. Q is getting 2 picks. One will be a pick 6. Wow. There's a prediction right there. I like that. Mac Jones is their backup quarterback? I totally forgot about Mac Jones. There's another quarterback. When I brought up Anthony Richardson, this guy not ready to start and his career is getting screwed. Mac Jones, another example of an organization ruining a young quarterback, put him in a position to fail. Do they score in the first? Yes. Actually, that will be my boldest prediction. The Eagles. You can bet first quarter. The Eagles will get a touchdown in the first quarter this week. They will. Doug will join us Monday as Phil's new. Yeah. Again, we're coming. This is the start of season 4 of Trending the AM. Today, 3 years ago, me and my man Jeremy Horwath of Fox Gambler hosted the first ever Trending in the AM. I got that video queued up. I can play a minute of it, but I don't know if I can. I don't know if that would hurt the copyrights if I played another show on this show. If I get it correct, no more Mitchie Poo. If it's 28-7, you can get 1 week of no Mitchie Poo. Phil, are you sure you want to doubt my picks? Yeah. I mean, you picked the Yankees to win the World Series. Big Al, they don't score in the first. No, they do. They almost did last week. If you get it wrong, it's Mitchie Poo. Poo, what? You don't get to name the nicknames. I get to name the nicknames. Philly special in the AM. Oh, man. Yes, Doug Pederson, you're welcome to come on anytime you'd like. Anytime you like. It'll always be Mitchie Poo. I mean, I'll give him a little breather on it, but yeah. Yeah, so what's up, Jason? My man. I love this guy right here, guys. Jason Lee right here. 3 years. Today's the start of year 4 of doing this. I've literally taken like 8 mornings off in the last 3 years. That's how long I've been doing this. So yes, congrats. Thank you very much, Jason. Couldn't do it without the support of people like Jason right here, okay? Jason's one of my biggest supporters. Unfortunately, he works in the morning, so yeah, he's not always in the chat, but my man Jason, I love him. I'm feeling 45-10 Eagles. Wow, that's a big score right there. Can the Eagles offense put up 45? I mean, they could. Phil, they do write the jokes on their own. You are hilarious. Thank you. I appreciate it. The jokes do write themselves. Hey, I appreciate it. Eagles 28-17. I do like this score as well. It is a very possible. I foresee a double-digit win for the Eagles. So, yes. I love all my core 12. But Jason's not part of the core 12. Jason is more of a mentor to me, okay? Jason got me on TV for the first time and second time. And me appearing on his TV show got his TV show canceled, but, that's another whole subject for another day. Who writes Mitch's material? I want to speak to the manager. Mitchie Poo writes his own stuff. Eagles offense, that's a lot of points, 45 points for any offense to put up. Yes, they nearly got to 40 last week. Exactly. Jason's a mentor. Jason got to be ancient. Jason is much older than me. Not that much older, but he is older than me. Trinidad for sure. But guys, I just final 5 minutes of the show. I gotta just keep talking about. I didn't really get his show canceled, but I was on the last. Literally, I was on his final episode. Then the show got restructured at PHL 17, and his show got canceled in the restructuring of PHL 17. I just coincidentally was one of his guests on his last show on PHL 17. So coincidentally, I didn't get it canceled, but I did kind of sort of, lead to it, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, I didn't really truly get it canceled. But final 5 minutes, I just got to keep talking because, like, when I started this morning show, when I had the idea to start this morning show, I didn't know where it would lead. I still don't know where it'll lead. Every year it's changed. We've been on different networks, now doing our own thing. And most of you have found your way over here to my new thing. 3 years ago, when I came up with this idea, I didn't know how long it would last. Well, more than 3 years ago. When I was in the DSM Media group chat, I'm like, yo, guys, I want to do a morning show daily. And Jeremy's like, yes, let me do it with you. And great. And I love Jeremy, and Jeremy's off doing his own thing now. He didn't last long as my co-host. I brought in different co-hosts, Jason Voorhees, who is off living the best life of his now. Mark was a part-time co-host for a long time. I've settled in as doing this solo now. It went from 16, well, the first few episodes were only like 45, 50 minutes. Then it became a regular hour show. Then an hour and 15, now 90 minutes. I've had guests ranging from Chris Franklin to Martin Frank, Ed Kratz. Had so many great guests on this show. It's evolved so many times. Oh, I got a picture. I'm going to oh, shoot. What did I just do there? There we are. We're still on. Good. I want to share something. I do have one thing. I posted on Twitter here. All the different logos that Trending in the AM have had over the years. I'm going to share this. The 4 different logos throughout the years of Trending in the AM right here for you guys to see. The original one only lasted a couple of weeks. Then the one on the right, top right, I added. Then the PSN logo down in the circle there, and the current logo. It's just something. It's just something there. Jason Voorhees, like Jason with the hockey mask. It's not his real name, but that was his online name, was Jason Voorhees, because he was a big Jason Voorhees fan. So he went by Jason Voorhees. Top left was, what's that say? Was made on, dude, it wasn't made. It was a very cheap logo because I didn't know how much time I would commit to doing the morning show. So I made a cheap, free logo just to get me started. Yes, it was very poorly done, the initial logo. You should be proud. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, Big Al. Glad we got to work together as always. It's just special. Jason has gone off and had a baby. He's getting married. He's gotten himself, over some personal demons. I love Jason. Jason's one of my closest friends. But him getting off social media and getting out of the podcast game was definitely best for him with some of the problems he was going through in life. Top right looks like a breakfast joint logo. The top right to me looks like something you'd see like a morning show on TV. It doesn't speak sports to me, but I do love it. I'm very partial to the top right because that was when I first started gaining some momentum with the morning show. I love you, Mitchie Poo. Always love you. Stuff. Trying to be all emotional here, and Trinidad's still dropping random stupid comments, But this has been something special over the last 3 years of building this, and I want to thank everybody that's been here, because now we're into the 4th year. Where am I going to be next year when we're celebrating season 5 debuting? What's the next evolution? I don't think the logo is going to change anymore, but it is something special to be able to say I've been doing this every single day for 3 straight years. The fact that you guys tune in all the time, the Core 12, the regulars, the ones who tune in occasionally. I love each and every one of you. Validate him, Phil. He wants to be picked so bad. Who? Mitchie Poo? I love Mitchie Poo. It's more of a joke to not put Mitchie Poo back on this show. That's more what it is. More of the joke than anything else. But yeah, guys, it's been pretty special. It's time to wrap this up. I got Eagles 31, Jaguars 17. We'll be back Monday. Overreaction Monday. Proving that Trinidad was wrong. The next revolution is, no, I'm not doing co-hosts ever again, first off. And I definitely wouldn't be doing a New Yorker as a co-host. For sure. I got to be Agent Zero, right? Yeah, you might be. Marshawn might be, out of all the people in chat. No offense. I think Marshawn is the only one in the Core 12 that was here before this. Marshawn, you might have even watched before Trending the AM, I had a night show called Trending for 4 Quarters. Marshawn might have been watching back then. So Marshawn's been around since day one-ish, okay? I don't know. Marshawn, did you watch me, Marshawn, when I was doing All About the Birds, when I started that podcast? Because you might have been there even at that point. Marshawn's the original of all originals right there. Whatever. Matty B. No, me and Matty B would never co-host well. The broom closet is the Eagles' fortress of solitude. What? Izzy. I don't know about that. He's an OG supporter of my content, so I will always love Marshawn. Whether we battle it out, whether we argue, whether he's trolling me or not, I will always respect the originals that were here from the beginning. I might have been watching that, not sure, but I was watching the 5th the fifth unsung though. What? I don't know what that even means. What's up, Mister? You're catching us at the end of the show, at the end of debut of season 4, trending in the AM, guys. Anyway, we got to wrap this up, guys. As we do, go Birds. Ring the bell, guys. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Team effort. We've made it to the weekend. So congrats to everybody for making it to the weekend here. Phil's always rooted in love and respect. It's all it is. It's all love, respect. It's all fun. It's all in good fun, Marshawn. And with that, I think it's a perfect moment to say, everybody have a great weekend. Go Birds. And bubbles up to y'all.
Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 julep.